Franz Schubert, often celebrated as the poet of melody, was a composer who stood at the crossroads of the classical and romantic eras. His life, though tragically short, was a supernova of creative energy, leaving behind a universe of over 1,000 works. Born in the humble suburb of Himmelpfortgrund in Vienna on January 31, 1797, his prodigious musical gifts manifested at an astonishingly early age. His father, a schoolmaster, provided his initial violin lessons, while his older brother Ignaz taught him piano. However, the young Schubert's innate talent was so immense that he quickly surpassed their teachings, often claiming he had learned all they had to offer. By the age of 11, his soaring soprano voice earned him a coveted spot in the choir of the Stadtkonvikt, Vienna's principal imperial school. This was a pivotal moment, immersing him in the rich musical tapestry of the city and exposing him to the symphonies of Haydn, Mozart, and the revolutionary works of Beethoven. He even received composition lessons from the esteemed court composer Antonio Salieri, who recognized the boy's extraordinary potential. Despite this formal training, much of Schubert's compositional voice was fiercely independent and self-taught, driven by an insatiable inner compulsion to create. For a time, he reluctantly followed his father's path, becoming a school teacher's assistant to support himself. The drudgery of the classroom, however, could not quell his creative spirit. He composed prolifically during every spare moment. He would often scribble down melodies on any scrap of paper he could find, from napkins to the back of menus. Schubert is most famously credited with elevating the German art song, the Lied, from a simple parlor amusement to a profound form of artistic expression. He took the poetry of his contemporaries, Goethe, Schiller, and Müller, and clothed it in music of unparalleled emotional depth and psychological insight. In Schubert's hands, the piano was no mere accompaniment but an equal partner to the voice, painting vivid scenes, evoking moods, and revealing the unspoken subtext of the poem. His 1814 masterpiece, Gretchen am Spinnrad, Gretchen at the Spinning Wheel, composed when he was just 17, is a stunning example of this synergy. The piano's restless, circular motion perfectly captures the whirring of the wheel and the obsessive turmoil of Gretchen's love-struck heart. Another iconic Lied, El König, the Elf King, is a miniature music drama where a single vocalist portrays 4 distinct characters: the narrator, the anxious father, the feverish child, and the seductive, sinister Elf King. The thundering, triplet-heavy piano part evokes the frantic gallop of the horse, a heartbeat of pure terror. Schubert's melodic genius was not confined to song. It permeated his symphonies, chamber music, and piano works. His Symphony No. 8 in B minor, famously known as the Unfinished Symphony, is a work of profound pathos and lyrical beauty, even in its 2-movement form. Its hauntingly beautiful melodies seem to emerge from a deep well of romantic longing and melancholy. The Symphony No. 9 in C major, The Great, is a work of heavenly length and monumental grandeur, praised by Robert Schumann for its divine qualities. Schubert's chamber music is equally treasured, containing some of the most sublime creations in the repertoire. The Trout Quintet is named for its set of variations on his earlier Lied, Die Forelle, the Trout, and is characterized by its cheerful and sunny disposition. In stark contrast, the String Quartet, No. 14, Death and the Maiden, is a powerful and dramatic struggle with mortality. The quartet is based on his song of the same name, a chilling dialogue between a fearful young woman and the comforting, yet inexorable, figure of death. His final chamber work, the String Quintet in C major, is often considered his magnum opus in the genre, a work of transcendent beauty and emotional complexity. The slow movement, with its ethereal, timeless quality, feels like a glimpse into the sublime, a farewell to the world. Schubert's life was one of bohemian struggle, a stark contrast to the celestial beauty of his music. He was never a virtuoso performer in the mold of Liszt or a savvy musical entrepreneur like Beethoven. Instead, he found his home among a close-knit circle of friends, poets, painters, and fellow music lovers. These gatherings, known as Schubertiaden, were informal concerts where his latest compositions were performed and celebrated in an intimate setting. Despite the support of his friends, financial security always eluded him. He relied on the generosity of patrons and the meager income from publications, which were often sold to publishers for a pittance. His health was also a constant battle, particularly after he contracted syphilis around 1822, an illness that would plague him for the rest of his life. Periods of intense creative activity were often followed by bouts of sickness and depression. Yet, it was in his final years, while battling illness, that he produced some of his most profound and forward-looking music. The song cycle Winter Raises, Winter Journey is a bleak, soul-searching masterpiece, a journey into the heart of despair and alienation. His last three piano sonatas are epic in scope, exploring vast emotional landscapes from serene acceptance to terrifying inner turmoil. Franz Schubert died on November 19, 1828, at the age of just 31, likely from typhoid fever, his body weakened by long-term illness. His final wish was to be buried near the composer he had idolized his entire life, lyrical. It was only in the decades after his death, championed by composers like Schumann, Liszt, and Brahms, that his vast treasure trove of music was unearthed and brought to the world. Schubert's legacy is that of the ultimate melodist. His music sings with an effortless, natural grace that seems to spring directly from the human heart. He was a poet who wrote not in words, but in notes, capturing every shade of emotion with breathtaking honesty and beauty. His ability to craft a perfect, memorable melody and place it in a harmonic context of stunning originality is what makes him the poet of melody. Schubert's world was one of intimate expression, where the grandest emotions could be contained within a simple song. He explored the depths of the human soul with a vulnerability and sincerity that continues to resonate with listeners today. The bittersweet quality of his music, a smile through tears, is perhaps its most defining characteristic. He could move from radiant joy to profound sorrow in the space of a single musical phrase. His harmonic language was revolutionary, using daring modulations to create sudden shifts in color and mood. This harmonic boldness paved the way for later romantic composers like Wagner and Mahler. Though he never wrote a truly successful opera, his lyrical dramas are found in his song cycles. The Winter Rays cycle is not just a collection of songs, but a single, harrowing journey of a rejected lover. Each song is a station on a path of psychological disintegration, a stark and modern portrayal of despair. Schubert's piano music, from the intimate moments musicals to the grand sonatas, reveals his complete mastery of the keyboard. He made the piano sing, whisper, rage, and dance, all with his characteristic melodic grace. The Wonder of Fantasy for Piano is a virtuosic and structurally innovative work, unifying four movements into a single, continuous whole. Its technical demands were so great that Schubert himself reportedly exclaimed, "The devil may play it." His music often carries a sense of Sehnsucht, an untranslatable German word for a deep, inner yearning or longing. It is the sound of a soul searching for a peace it can never quite find on earth. This feeling of being a wanderer or an outsider is a recurring theme in both his life and his work. The poignancy of his music is deepened by the knowledge of his short, difficult life. His melodies are like fleeting moments of beauty, captured and made eternal. He was a composer who felt everything deeply and had the divine gift of translating those feelings into pure sound. The effortless flow of his music belies the meticulous craftsmanship and harmonic genius that lie beneath the surface. Listening to Schubert is like listening to a friend confide their deepest secrets. His legacy is not one of bombast or revolution, but of intimacy, sincerity, and the sublime power of melody. Franz Schubert, the poet of melody, remains one of music's most beloved and profoundly human voices.